The power of the pet business pause. Why the most successful business owners schedule time to stop. I'm back from a week in Menorca with my amazing wife, Beth. This was, in every sense of the word, a complete chill-out vacation. We quite literally did nothing for 7 days, and I mean sweet FA. My sunglasses broke in half on day 4, so we were forced to wander to the local supermercado for a new pair, and even that felt like too much work. I'm very proud of myself though. I didn't post on social media, I didn't answer any emails, and I even left my laptop at home. The systems I've built over the last year and the content strategy I put in place at Easter helped ensure that even when I was away for an extended period of time, my team are still able to put out quality content every other day on socials, and my main source of truth piece, this video, also went out on Sunday via my amazing marketing assistant. Now the next step for Dom, and I'll fully admit I am not there yet, is to have this marketing machine working in such a way that my business doesn't just maintain, but it actually grows even when I'm not around. To that end, we are cranking up a new outreach system, and I'm taking what I learned from Stephen and Nala Reedy at the recent DDSA Content in the Castle immersion event. So we'll be adding more quality awareness, alignment, engagement content to my weekly schedule. All of this should hopefully help me identify more quality candidates who are a great fit for the Dog Daycare Success Academy program. More on that another time. Today, as it's the first week in July and the halfway point of the year, I wanted to talk about the power of resetting. See, Beth and I didn't just rock up in Son Boo and kick back because we felt lazy. No. This 2026 mid-year reset was planned when we did the same thing last year, and we experienced huge benefits from having some serious downtime. The plan was, as I said, to do nothing. So we read, we talked, we swam, we read some more, and there may have been the odd glass of poolside rosé too, but only because we went all-inclusive and it would be rude not to. We've had an incredibly busy first half of the year. It started early January with my first keynote on-board a cruise to Mexico. I ran my first ever USA Impact Success Summit in Orlando in February. I launched my new flagship Dog Daycare Success Academy program the same month. We've done mastermind immersion events in Austin, Boston, Sunderland, and Lumley Castle. And I spoke at the Pet Boarding and Daycare Expo in Phoenix in May. And that's actually the quiet half of the year. There's way more booked for the second half, hence a reset was required. The science of stopping. Now, the top coaches know that elite output requires intentional recovery. So in professional sports, nobody sprints into the field for the second half of a massive game without a calculated, strict halftime protocol. Take Phil Jackson, who coached the Chicago Bulls and LA Lakers to 11 NBA championships. So during high-stress halftimes, Phil would often make his players sit in absolute forced silence for the first few minutes. There was no talking, no strategizing, no complaining, just breathing. He knew you have to lower the noise and the cortisol before you can process new data. Then look at Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs. During their legendary Super Bowl comebacks, their halftime protocol became famous. Players unbuckled their heavy pads, ate chicken strips, listened to music, and actively rested. They caught their breath so they could completely change their execution for the second half. And what if your first half of the year has been a total disaster? Well, then you need a total wipeout. And to ensure his players didn't carry past mistakes into the next phase of the game, Steve Kerr of the Golden State Warriors introduced a literal ritual. Coaches and players would write down their biggest first half frustrations on a whiteboard and then physically wipe it completely clean before taking on the second half. And he did this to stop them carrying mistakes, missed shots, and frustrations into the second half. And finally, what about Carlo Ancelotti, the most successful manager in Champions League football history, currently doing his best to mastermind a 6th World Cup for Brazil? Carlo brings his key players together, he lays out the tactical issues, and then he asks, "This is what I see, what do you think?" Then they build the second half adjustments together. If elite athletes whose entire multi-million-dollar careers depend on peak physical and mental output refuse to skip the halftime reset, why do business owners think they can grind through Q3 and Q4 on fumes without a playbook adjustment? People often ask me why we meet every quarter in the Dog Daycare Success Academy. Why not every month or once a year? Because 90 days is about just right. It's long enough to execute and it's short enough to course correct. And whilst I don't have any proof of the benefits, personally, I think it's smart to mirror nature and the seasons. As it turns out, behavioral psychology heavily backs this up. Human beings are psychologically wired for shorter seasonal horizons. When a deadline is a year away, Parkinson's law kicks in, our brains fall into procrastination mode, and we overcomplicate simple things because there's no pressure. But 90 days is the psychological Goldilocks zone, i.e. it's just right. It's close enough to create immediate focus and healthy urgency, but long enough to build compound momentum and see massive business growth. And it's no coincidence that most major businesses report quarterly. Professional sports working seasons, and your business needs that same structured rhythm to thrive without breaking you in the process. Inside the DDSA, we build that high performance rhythm directly into your calendar. We handle the week-to-week execution with our weekly trainings and our mission control check-ins to keep you laser focused. But every 90 days, we pull you out of the day-to-day grind, we unbuckle the pads and we clear the noise. We step into the locker room together at our quarterly, unique mastermind immersion events. And just like Carlo Ancelotti with Brazil, we encourage collaboration, quality inputs, and the kind of honest feedback that only a good coach can give. The sort of conversations that your staff are too nervous to have and your spouse is probably fed up with repeating. Nothing beats being in a room of peers who will help you stress test your business, wipe away the baggage of the first half of the year, and collaboratively map out your exact 90-day execution plan for the next quarter. July 1st for me means the scoreboard resets to 0-0. The first half of 2026 is done, but before you charge headstrong into the second half of the year, do yourself and your business a favor. Block some time out in the diary, a weekend or a couple of days is fine, but a day or an afternoon with your notebook and no interruptions will do too. Before we even flew home, Beth and I booked the same week away next year. See, I know how beneficial this is for the business and, way more importantly, for our relationship. It's not a luxury, it's essential business maintenance. And here is the brutal truth. Your business will always find things for you to do. There'll always be another email, always be another staffing issue to fix, another fire to put out. My business is exactly the same. I've come home to a stack of things that I need to do, some of them quite urgently. The difference is I'm attacking them now with an energy that I wouldn't have had without the break that I've just enjoyed. So my challenge to you in this video is, before you close this down, schedule in your next reset. Put it in the diary and protect it like the most important client appointment. Because guess what? It probably is. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.